Throughout the last few centuries, communication has gone through a massive evolution. From smoke signals to instant messaging, communication has changed the way we interact with each other, and changed our lives in ways that would have been unimaginable just a few generations ago. In this article, I will be taking a look at the evolution of communication, from its earliest days to the present, and exploring how it has revolutionized the way we communicate. The evolution from smoke signals to instant messaging. Communication has been an integral part of human civilization since the very beginning. From the earliest days, people have used various methods of communicating with each other, ranging from smoke signals to the written word. In this article, I will be exploring the evolution of communication, from its earliest days to the present, and looking at how it has revolutionized the way we communicate. The early days of communication. The earliest forms of communication date back to the prehistoric era. During this time, humans used various methods of communicating, such as smoke signals, drums, and even body language. This was the most basic form of communication, and while it was effective, it was limited in its scope. As time went on, humans began to develop more sophisticated forms of communication, such as the written word. This allowed for more complex ideas to be communicated, and it also opened up new possibilities for communicating over long distances. This eventually led to the development of the printing press, which revolutionized the way information was spread and allowed for the mass production of books and other documents. The revolutionary impact of the printing press. The invention of the printing press in the 15th century was a major milestone in the evolution of communication. It allowed for the mass production of books and other documents, and it also helped to spread knowledge and information much more quickly than before. This had a profound impact on society, as it allowed for the dissemination of ideas and information on a much larger scale than ever before. In addition to the printing press, other important developments during this period included the telegraph, radio, and telephone. These new forms of communication allowed for information to be transmitted over long distances in a matter of seconds. This opened up a whole new world of possibilities for communication and had a major impact on the way people communicated with each other. The telegraph, radio, and telephone. The telegraph, radio, and telephone were all major milestones in the evolution of communication. The telegraph allowed for the transmission of information over long distances in a matter of seconds, while the radio and telephone allowed for the transmission of sound and voice messages. These new forms of communication allowed for information to be shared much more quickly than before, and they also opened up new possibilities for various types of communication. The invention of the telephone was especially revolutionary, as it allowed for two-way communication. This allowed for conversations to be held over long distances and opened up a whole new world of possibilities for communication. The emergence of the Internet. The emergence of the Internet in the late 20th century was a major milestone in the evolution of communication. The Internet allowed for the transmission of data and information over long distances, and it also enabled the development of new forms of communication, such as email and instant messaging. This allowed for people to communicate with each other in ways that had never been possible before, and it also opened up new possibilities for collaboration and the sharing of information. The impact of social media. The emergence of social media in the early 21st century has had a profound impact on the way people communicate. Social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram allow users to share information, interact with each other, and even form virtual communities. This has allowed for a much more connected world, where people can share information and ideas in an instant. Social media has also had a major impact on the way businesses communicate with their customers. Companies can now communicate directly with their customers, and they can also use social media as a platform for marketing and advertising. This has enabled businesses to reach more customers than ever before and has revolutionized the way companies communicate with their customers. The current state of communication. The current state of communication is one of unprecedented connectivity. With the emergence of the Internet, people can communicate with each other instantly, regardless of distance. This has enabled us to stay connected with our friends and family, even when we are physically apart. In addition, it has allowed for the sharing of information on an unprecedented scale, and this has enabled us to stay informed about the world around us. The current state of communication has also had a major impact on businesses. Companies can now communicate directly with their customers, and they can also use social media as a platform for marketing and advertising. This has enabled businesses to reach more customers than ever before and has revolutionized the way companies communicate with their customers. The future of communication. The future of communication looks to be even more connected than it is today. Advances in technology are enabling new forms of communication, such as virtual reality, augmented reality, and artificial intelligence. These new forms of communication will enable people to interact in ways that were not possible before, and they will also open up new possibilities for businesses to communicate with their customers. In addition, advancements in communication technology are enabling faster and more efficient ways of sharing information. With the emergence of 5G technology, data can be transmitted over long distances in a matter of seconds, and this has the potential to revolutionize the way we communicate. Conclusion: how the evolution of communication has changed the world. Throughout the last few centuries, communication has undergone a massive evolution. From smoke signals to instant messaging, communication has revolutionized the way we communicate with each other, and changed our lives in ways that would have been unimaginable just a few generations ago. The evolution of communication has enabled us to stay connected with each other, regardless of distance, and it has also enabled us to share information on an unprecedented scale. This has revolutionized the way we interact with each other and has changed the world in ways that would have been unimaginable just a few centuries ago.